What's up, bitches?
Hey,
Wait, the young guns have taken over.
Anarchy! Anarchy! Anarchy!
anyway,
Malcolm's close to death, and we're young. Let's go.
We are
anyway,
the Grim Reapers.
I'm sorry, Malcolm. I had to.
Anyway, welcome to another episode of Rankum. It's going to be complete chaos as it always is. It's not unusual, but got a great panel of guests. But we've got Jake Mangoni here. Jake, how's it going?
Really good. I'm very curious about this. This 2019 has been, I think, a really good year, and I'm curious to see how we all, present our lists and see how it goes. Because I mean, we're all on the young side, and I'll be honest, there's a couple of films that I have just not been able to see because it has not come out yet. So I'm sorry about Jojo Rabbit, Little Women, 1917, Go and Play with Fire, and not Go and Play with Fire. What's that? Go with the Fire.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
I don't know why I know that. It's definitely not on my list or anything.
Yeah, Atlantics. There's just a bunch of films I haven't seen yet, and I'm sorry. So if you don't like my list, then too bad. Fuck you, Lucas.
Yeah, fuck you, Lucas. Chicago.
But also here we've got Cameron. Cameron, how's it going?
Good. I'm with all of my teammates here. I've got my full metal teammate of Jake Marangoni, and I've got Team 19.
I think this collectively makes this show Cameron and all his bitches.
Nah, Malcolm's not my bitch. He's just the host of the show who's supposed to be here. But no, I think this is gonna be fun. The last time me, Coho, and Boatman were on a Rankum together, we lit the internet on fire.
Sure.
So it's a lot harder for us to do that since for this one we submitted individual lists beforehand and do not get to just scream at each other and collude in any way. Last time we were here, Team 19 was born. Today you watch it evolve into even darker territory.
Bow to the First Order.
Charmeleon.
Wrong faction, Coho.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
But anyway, but we've also got Caleb here. Caleb, how's it going? Coho.
Which one, racist?
Coho is the one I was referring to.
I'm sorry, okay? I didn't choose this name. But this is gonna be fun. I'm already really hyper. And I wasn't expecting to get this hyper already. So we're starting at an 11. We might end at a 47 by the end of the night, so we'll see.
And last but not least, we've got Boatman. Boatman, how's it going?
I would just like to say that if any of the olds in the comment section disagree with our picks, I would just like to say, you don't understand. We grew up with these movies. You didn't. Okay? So that is what it is. You're all one step closer to death than we are.
Yeah, Dad, Skip Allen. No, Cody, you're awful. Chicago.
Cody, I will throw you in the microwave.
But anyway,
I'm clearly the sane one of Team 19.
But anyway, this is going to work a little different to the usual rankings we do. Everyone's going to go through their own separate list. I'm going to get everyone to go through their 10 to 8, then I'll go 7 to 7 to 5, and then we each go one a piece from the upwards. But yeah, and
I have a question. Does Cody get 10% of the royalties for using the copyright?
No, John Roca and Matt Nose get 10% of the royalties from the show. Speaking of which, is punting a thing in this show?
Or are we yikesing? If that's the case, then 10% of all royalties go to Paulo Yama.
well,
Are we gonna who boy?
well, no. If there's something in common that comes up, then you're going to yell out bingo, and then we move it down to
Malcolm, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not yelling bingo.
We're
But
I
Andy,
am not a child from the 1950s. I don't need to say bingo.
we're each gonna have our own
Walter,
catchphrase
bingo.
we're each gonna have our own catchphrase.
I'm
that
gonna
is our
say
version of
zoinks. That's my punt. I'll say zoinks.
I'll say hoo boy.
This is just taking over. I'm sorry, Malcolm.
I will say skiddly doo.
but
You'll
Andy,
say the third man.
Yeah, I'll say the third man.
but anyway, we're going to get this on the road. I'm going to go to Jake first. Jake, what is your 10 through to 8?
My number 10 is the Martin Scorsese film The Irishman. Then my number 9 is... Do I kick on, right? Yep, till 7, not till 8, sorry. My number 9 is One Cut of the Dead. And my number 8 is Ad Astra.
Did you want to talk about any of the movies? You can actually talk in depth about the movies if you want.
I mean, no, just about The Irishman is, it's Scorsese. Everyone loves Scorsese. It's just a great... It's one that he's been always wanting to make for, feels like 20 years. And the fact that it took so long, I mean, I remember the hype about this film having, a gigantic budget. It was going to be on Netflix, and the de-aging on De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino. It's all done extremely well, and it's one of those that subverts your expectations, because Scorsese has always done crime films, and the fact that it takes a unique turn in the last 40, 50 minutes of the movie, because most of the movie plays pretty lightheartedly, even though it deals with darker themes, and then once that situation happens, it's really, really devastating. So I really like The Irishman. My only complaint would be just a little too long, but that's very minor. And then number 9 is One Cut of the Dead. It's I don't know if a lot of you know this one. Thank you. It's a Japanese film, and I don't want to go too much into detail. I'll just say that it's about a film crew filming a zombie movie that then becomes an actual zombie movie. And the first 30 minutes is entirely one take, not edits like Birdman, which is the best one ever, but it is actually one take, and then it takes a completely different turn, and it's one of the most entertaining and enjoyable movies of the year. I highly recommend this film if you could ever find it. It is absolutely incredible. And then number 8 is Ad Astra, Apocalypse Now in Space. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have thought of this movie as. It's just a really interesting, engaging film about, human existence and human conscience, and, father and son relationship, which I think is very unique in this storytelling, and it's one that definitely echoes a lot of Apocalypse Now. And I really like that film a lot, and this one just takes it in a completely different turn as far as viewing space in a unique, and I really like the cinematography and the set production design, and I think Brad Pitt is also really, really good. And just also the search for life outside of Earth is fascinating. I really like space, the general topic, and there's some really interesting and scary stuff.
But anyway, we're going to go to Koho next. Koho, what is your 10, 9, and 8?
Do we get to talk about his movies at all?
Are we talking about his or no?
I mean, if you've got anything to say about his movies,
I just want to say I like Ad Astra. I don't love Ad Astra, but all the things he talked about it are great. Also, Doug and JTH are saying that "ding" is their safe word, and I'm uncomfortable. But
I would just like to say that I don't condone the cutting of people, even if they are dead.
Okay.
Can I? May
go ahead. Go ahead, Kim.
Irishman, I was not a fan. Ad Astra, I didn't see it. One Cut of the Dead, I saw it. I think sometime last year. I think it's dope. That long shot is incredible. It's 30 or 37 minutes or something like that, and it's fantastic. See it.
Okay.
It is not on my 2019 list because I did not see it in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, the release of that one is kind of different.
My 10 is Little Women. I guess the little known sequel, Little Women.
That's the sequel to Pretty Woman.
No, it's
Pretty
the
Woman.
prequel about only the mom.
You are right. It's just the one Little Woman. My number 9 is Joker. And my number 8 is Uncut Gems. I don't know if we're...
I haven't listened
Yeah,
to it yet.
third man to those last two.
Okay, so I will talk about my 10. Little Women is like one that I wasn't expecting to put into my top 10. If we were doing like top 10 like favorites, Endgame would be my 10. But like Little Women, if I'm talking objectively of the best movies of the year, is my 10. Greta Gerwig. I've never seen any other version or read the book, but I think what Greta Gerwig does with the story and with these characters is something really delightful and sweet. It's a movie that you rarely see about like familial love and the bond between family in that sort of way, and the drama between them. I think Florence Pugh and Saoirse Ronan are absolutely incredible and deserve Oscars for it. I think Laura Dern's really good. Meryl Streep is really good. Chris Cooper is not getting enough talk about him for his performance in this movie. Chalamet is gangbusters. Like, the ensemble cast in this is unbelievable. So if you've never seen Little Women, the score by Alexander Desplat, like the entire movie is just chef's kiss. It's great.
Yeah, with Little Women, it only literally came out on New Year's Day over here, so I just haven't got around to seeing it. It's probably the same with Jake.
Yeah, it came out New Year's. I'm going to see it Sunday, so I will be seeing it soon.
I have a moral problem with Little Women. So that
I'm
movie.
very scared of what you mean.
So here's my problem with Little Women, right? There's not like they're all. There's not a single little person in that cast.
I knew
I knew that's where you're going. I thought you were about to.
They're all
man.
like, that's not fair that they're playing. They're supposed to be playing little people. Why couldn't we cast little people acting?
I thought you were. I thought,
Bowman, why couldn't you let me say my thing before you derailed
Bowman,
it?
I thought you were about to say that these are regular-sized women, not little women.
I don't use the word regular.
You're right. I am
Normal
That's
is a myth.
offensive, Coho. There's no regular size except for fun size.
It's a shit movie.
I hate
All right,
these
okay.
movies.
I'm gonna quickly say my thing. I only saw one movie of Little Women that this year in 2019, and it was not this one. It was 2018's Little Women by Pureflix, starring Ryan from High School Musical.
Why?
Fandom, multiplex strengths. But
It's fair.
I really like Little Women. I was thinking about going to see it today, and then I slept in and didn't have time. So yeah, it's probably good. I probably really like it. I was in the stage play of it, but I haven't seen it yet.
But we're going to move on to Boatman. What did you
My
team
number
on?
10 is the best super bad knockoff that came out this year. And it is Booksmart.
Oh boy!
Birdman. My yikes is Birdman, so Birdman.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Okay, my number 9 is, I know, gonna be a whatever, yikes, because yikes trademark. It's going to be Endgame. My 9.
Bingo.
Yep.
Wow, bingo. That's gonna be memorable. And my number 8.
You can't fucking do that when I'm drinking. I almost spit that shit everywhere.
My number 8 is Knives Out.
Oh, that's not
I
so
also have it at 8.
That's a movie 43.
If we're just saying our favorite movies, then that's a La La Land, bitches.
My favorite movie is, of course, Who Boy?
It's too long to say Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I prefer the sequel, Who Boy 2, More Boy.
It's Who Boy 2 Electric Hoogaloo.
But anyway,
Oh my god.
next up, Chaos is Cameron.
Yeah, okay.
This feels like deja vu. Like I just did an episode of this earlier today.
Yeah. Okay, my number 10 is Fighting with My Family.
Nice.
Screw you, Tony Heald!
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Heald's coming for you, Cam.
Hashtag bite me healed. My number 9 is very on brand. It's How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Calm down, Coho. And my number 8 is Knives Out, which has already been Hoo-boyed up the list.
Zoinks!
Yeah.
So yeah, number 10,
I
Fighting with
forgot
My
we were doing
Family.
already.
I just think this movie's really cool. I do not watch wrestling. I never have. I probably will not going on in the future. I have no attachment to it. But I really like this movie. It's a really good family story. It's just really fun. Great comedy. An incredible leading performance from Florence Pugh, who is apparently in a lot of people's number 10 movie of the year. Yeah, it's just a really good time. The Rock is in it, and like it's actually still a good movie with a reasonable plot, so that's always surprising. Yeah. If anyone would like to say anything about Fighting with My Family, speak now.
Great movie. Tony's wrong. Florence Pugh gave
Thank
3
you.
great performances. So
I fight with my family already, so I didn't see this movie.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed Finding My Family. It's just one of those ones which I thought was just fun, and it's not often you see a biopic of someone that's still slightly active in, as well.
Absolutely. And then my number 9 was How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, which is very on brand for me. How to Train Your Dragon is my favorite trilogy of movies ever. I think the first 2 are incredible. I think this one is nowhere near as good as the first 2, but I still think it's great. It's exactly what it needs to be to finish off the trilogy. The ending is incredible. I saw it opening night and I was weeping uncontrollably when that ending happened. It just hit me all the right ways. The animation is beautiful in it, and like it brings in a villain presence that you don't really have in the other ones, which I think is really cool. And yeah,
this movie's okay, man.
fight me.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this one. I still think 2 is the better one. But
1's better than 2.
3 is better than 2. Come on now.
3 is not
But
better
yeah.
than 2, but 1 is.
Jake, Caleb, anything to say on Dragons?
I saw the last 30 minutes of it, and it was fine. I'm not really big How to Train Your Dragon, I say. That's all I'll say.
I enjoyed this film. It was very good. Yeah.
Are you about to cry?
What?
That's how much you enjoyed the film?
No, I think we're all trying to repress laughter so much.
Yes.
That is accurate.
But anyway,
I think you could say this film is a bingo.
And
not
then
like
number
watching
8 was Knives Out, which has been bingoed, movie 43, whatever the hell you want to call it.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
but-
Zoinks, so
I'm saying, oh boy.
Okay.
but anyway, my number 10 I've got is Yesterday. My 9 is Rise of Skywalker.
oh, I didn't think we were making worse the 2019 list. I'm sorry.
Hey, calm down, Coho.
Malcolm, weren't you just crashing this movie like 5 minutes ago on the call?
Yeah, wait, what?
But
Malcolm Troll confirmed. Jim Green, you have been replaced.
my 8 is Ford v Ferrari.
That's a Zoinks.
Yep, I knew it would be.
But anyway, Yesterday is one that I actually really enjoyed. I know that it's one that a lot of people really don't like, but it's one that I just I do think is a good movie, and there's an echo somewhere.
Yeah, whose echo is that? Because I can hear it. That's 1, 2.
It ain't me.
It might be.
I think it may be me.
But yeah, it's one that I didn't expect to enjoy. I do like Beatles, and just hearing this is just fun, and seeing what the world would be like if a big musical presence was taken out. Well, do I agree that everything would have disappeared as it did? No. Do I wish they'd explained it better? Yeah, I do. But it's just a fun movie to watch and just a great storyline.
Okay. Can we talk about it now?
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that's incredible. Who thinks that Yesterday's a good film other than Malcolm? Yeah.
I like it.
I think it's fine. Like Lily James, I think is really good, and the Robert Carlyle cameo is the best part of the movie.
That is a great scene, and I like the concept of the movie, but the romance is so underdeveloped. Like, your family's supposed to be longing for them. Like, they're supposed to have a thing where it's like, they can't make it work because they're in separate lives. So it's like, why can't you make it work? Just stop being a school teacher. It's like, you could be financially good, and if you want to be with him, then why don't you make the sacrifice? It just made no sense whatsoever. And also, I think it was only great in concept that it didn't further fulfill what he was going for with the idea that he's, who goes to people. And it ends in just a sappy strip that, you're going to be morally right about giving the songs away. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just like, I wish it explored more.
I also gotta say, like, any movie where Ed Sheeran plays himself, playing himself, is going to be a movie that I see.
Coho, did you just say you like it when Ed Sheeran plays with himself?
The show is a mess, and it's not like
Look, we might as well just start saying yikes at this point too, guys. Let's be real.
Honestly, let's just
no,
rip off.
boy.
If we're gonna
boy.
do the Your List Sucks format entirely, let's just say yikes.
But anyway, now I wasn't trashing Rise of Skywalker beforehand. I was disagreeing. I was disagreeing with everyone that was putting it really high on the list.
His name is
This
Brian
is one
Michael,
that
so you can say it.
maybe on a rewatch it may go down, but at this stage, this is where it sort of landed for me. I do really think this is a great ending to the trilogy. Once again, it's Star Wars. There's so much disagreement out there over Star Wars, but yeah, I mean, I think there's really a good moments. I'm not going to go into too much spoilers, even though it has been out for a while. But yeah, anyone got anything they want to say on Star Wars?
I just love the best part of the Rise of Skywalker. The best thing to come out is the video of Adam Driver running around with the song "I Need a Hero" playing under it. Is my favorite thing to come out of this movie, because this movie is not good. There's some cool moments in it, but I'm just ready for the gifs of Rey saying "I am the Senate," because that's like my favorite thing.
I saw it for the first time yesterday morning. I thought it was good and it was fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's very the middle of my, not like very in the middle, but it's pretty middle on my ranking of movies that I saw this year. So yeah.
I'm sorry. This movie's pretty trash, guys. Like, I am sorry. This movie is bad, and I can't go into it because people are going to have an aneurysm if I even say anything that's slightly close to a spoiler. Well, that's fine. I just want to say this movie is trash, and I am the Senate.
Guys, the best part of this movie is when someone asks what Rey's last name is, and she says, "I don't have anyone," and they say Rey Solo is the best last name to give her now.
That's how last names get.
Yeah, if you don't have people, you just become Solo.
There's a lot of moments in this movie, but there are no scenes. It's like JJ and Chris Terrio and Kathleen Kennedy was like, what's moments we could have in the movie? Oh, Polky and the giant Star Wars battle and Kylo Ren and the old Death Star. Let's just have these moments, and figure out a way to put scenes and to tie them up. And it was really stupid and fan service without any explanation. Like, there's a scene towards the end with I would say, revelation with a character and maybe their child, which is never further explained or is brought up, which I found to be a big, gigantic tease. There's a lot of scenes like that, and it's...
I would also like to say they try to have their Avengers Endgame Portals moment, and it's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That scene would have been better if whoever was whoever was in the Millennium Falcon, I don't want to give spoilers, but said Star Wars assembled, and then they all went against the Star
No. It'd be better if they just said in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away as they showed up, and that's just how it all starts. That's it. That makes the move. That makes.
People
What
of
are
the
we?
stars, it's time for wars. Go.
What are we? Some kind of rise of Skywalker?
They needed Bill Murray to show up and be like, Star Wars! Inexplicably there.
Anyways, do we want to move on?
But anyway, Jake, what's your 7 to 5?
I'm gonna need to remember what my 7 to 5 is. Number 7 is Marriage Story, the Netflix film. Okay, I'm a little shocked about
Oh,
that. But
yikes! Sorry, bingo.
yeah, come on, bingo.
Man.
That's a bingo. Trademark.
Number 6 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing. Yikesy bingo. Yikes! Yikes! Oh no. Yesterday.
That's the person. That's the person who broke up the Beatles. Yikes! Oh no.
But what's your 5?
And number 5 is Her Smell, the Alex Ross Perry.
Oh really? Okay.
Who are you smelling, Jake?
Well, maybe
okay.
you didn't see it, and neither did I. So shut up.
I actually did. I actually saw this. So go
I
ahead.
said Boatman, not you, Coho. You're fine.
So, okay, so just for clarification, Marriage Story and Once Upon a Time, yikes.
Yeah.
No, they're third man.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. A third man.
They have been abducted by Yikes! Oh no.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Her Smell then. So Her Smell is actually a really great. I'm a big fan of character studies, and this is probably my favorite one of 2019. It's about a musician, Becky something, played by Elizabeth Moss, who honestly should get an Oscar nomination for her role because she's absolutely fantastic. It may be my favorite performance of the year, and it's essentially just 5 long scenes detailing her out of control personality and how it affects those around her, from her bandmates to her mom and her ex-husband, and the fact that she also has a child, and the camera work is so frenetic and it's always moving, and you start to feel like nauseous. And then there's a point later on where it completely has this like juxtaposition, and it just absolutely works and is so perfect. And there's also a cover of a Bryan Adams song, and I'm always for Bryan Adams, and it's a great scene. But it's all one take, and Elizabeth Moss is actually playing the piano, and it's just absolutely fascinating and a great character study of this basically egotistical, selfish, narcissistic musician. And I found it very, very engaging and very watchable.
Coho, she actually plays the piano in the movie. That means she wins an Oscar, correct?
Listen here, you dumb bitch. Ryan Gosling is a much better performer. He more than play the piano. Damn it. I don't actually. I shouldn't say I like this movie because I don't. Elizabeth Moss is good. She's like really good, but like the movie kind of like is too weird for me, and it made me anxious a lot. So I couldn't like really fully gravitate to the movie. But like it accomplished what it was going for, so respect. But like I just didn't like what it was going for, so not for me.
I don't condone smelling people without their consent.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen this. But Coho, what is your 7 to 5?
My 7 is Jojo Rabbit.
boy.
That's
That's my 7 as well.
Who
my
boy?
7 as well.
Yeah.
Who boy?
Oh, he who boyed it. Okay, fuck.
But
Who boy?
My 6 is Ford v Ferrari.
Who was V? That was the biggest problem.
It's Hugo Weaving played V. Hugo Weaving played V. Okay, you dumb shit. All right. Ford v Ferrari is fucking great. This movie is like phenomenally made.
Yeah. Before you start talking about what's your 5, and then we can.
Oh, right. Sorry, my 5.
Yeah, what's the 5?
My 5 is Waves.
Ah, pretentious.
Oh, I'm pretentious. Leave, Jake. You have her fucking smell. All right, 6.
No, it's just her smell.
6
Okay.
is-
Jake calling somebody pretentious is like Nico saying somebody else talks too much.
or strokes the rock too much. Or-
I think I might have the most pretentious and simultaneously lowbrow list on this show.
Okay, well, Ford v Ferrari is like incredibly well made. Like it feels so big and epic, while you also still care about like Ken Miles, which Bale is incredible in this movie. It's another great performance from him. Damon's also really good, and like I think that's a really good ensemble cast. Some people like bitch boy in the corner Boatman is gonna say that there's a bad performance in the movie, and I disagree. He says Josh Lucas is a piece of shit. I think Josh Lucas is fine.
Well, he plays a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly, but that's the point. But anyway, the movie is a great story. Bar, you're wrong when you say it's bad because it's predictable. Because if that's the case, then Godfather is bad because it's predictable. Anyway,
Wait, what?
But anyway, I had Ford v Ferrari at a little bit lower. This is a movie I didn't know I was going to enjoy as much as I did. But I just thought it was shot beautifully, and all the acting performances were great. And yeah, and I mean to second what Koro said about Bar saying this is predictable. If this is predictable, then it means all biopics are very predictable because you know what's going to happen to the people at the end. But yeah, anyone else with anything to say on Ford v Ferrari?
Okay, my problem with Josh Lucas's character in this isn't that he's a bad person. It's the problem is that he is a bad character. He feels so one-dimensional, and I half expected him to just straight up say, "My father will be hearing about this." Like he just felt
Draco Malfoy.
he felt so like whiny and annoying and cartoony. He didn't feel like a real character.
Wait, who goes first? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
So who goes first? Yeah, I like Ford v Ferrari a lot. I think Christian Bale and Matt Damon are both really, really good in the film and should probably get nominated for Academy Awards. I wouldn't say I found it predictable, but it's definitely more conventional than you're saying it is. It definitely takes a very simple structure with the plot, and there's these. The conflict feels very like unnecessary with that character, Josh Lucas's character, and sometimes it just feels like they really added it in because of conflict. I understand it's a biopic and it's based on a true story. They're just those elements that felt like very movie, and other than that, it was really good. I like the car chases and the performances are good. And the directing's nice.
Yeah, it was my number 10 until I watched a movie 2 days ago that jumped onto my list. I really liked it. I think it's really well directed. I think it's fun. I think it's got great drama. I think that the two of them fighting in like the middle of the street and on their lawn and trying to beat the crap out of each other with a loaf of bread is just really fun. Yeah, I liked it. It's good. James Mangold is fantastic,
right?
except for the Wolverine.
Now, tell us all about Raves, Coho.
All right, so this is probably the best movie that no one's going to see this year. Waves is a crazy, kinetic, sort of hectic movie, but it's also super serene and peaceful. It's like a total journey through this family in this sort of suburban town and this, like, sort of problems that befall them. and the wave of life that they go through that kind of takes and gives to them. And it's shot beautifully. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's score is gorgeous. It's one of the most peaceful, chaotic movies that you're going to see this year, which is like weird to say those two words in conjunction, but like you feel both throughout this entire movie. The cinematography of the movie tells a story in and of itself, and I think it's the best cinematography of the year. Yeah, Waves, if you haven't seen it, I think it's one of the best movies of the year, bar none.
Yeah. It hasn't been released over here yet, so I just haven't had a chance to see it. Probably the same with Jake.
Yeah, if you want to message Trade with Schultz and tell him to release the movie in Australia, then I would be very happy because I want to see this movie. Even though I've never seen any one of his movies, I'm just very curious about the film, and also the reception of it is really good. It should probably get some Oscar attention. That's my word.
It also has the best soundtrack of the year.
If I am available, I am seeing it on Sunday, but I don't totally know what my schedule for Sunday is.
I don't
yet,
care what
so-
your schedule is. You're watching Waves.
We'll see about that.
Boatman, anything?
I didn't see this one. I live in Iowa where they don't play real movies. They just play movies that people who watch The Big Bang Theory would like.
No, they play movies
And
that the
movies that-
characters on The Big Bang Theory would like.
And movies.
No. Yes.
But anyway, Bowman, what is your 7 to 5?
I would like to point out that there actually was a documentary about Korn that played at my local theater, which is sad.
It is your number one on 2019.
No, it did not come out this year, or else it would be. What number am I doing, Malcolm?
7
Okay.
to 5.
7 to 5. Okay. My number 7 is Jojo Rabbit, so it's a Yokso Ono
Hoo boy.
from earlier. My number 6 is Marriage Story.
Which was my Birdman from earlier.
Hey, and
Yeah.
do I talk about it now or do I go on? I don't know how the format works.
Well, tell us your 5 as well as Emma says. We could probably talk
Okay.
about Marriage Story because we've all got it around that same period.
I think we need to get Cody here.
Yeah, I think he understands the format of this show very well. My number 5 is Parasite.
That's a
Hoo boy.
La La Land,
Birdman,
Birdman,
Birdman.
Zoinks, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Punt.
um,
I'm just gonna
Slight
say
Hoo
punt
boy,
now.
but it is Hoo Boyd.
I'm just gonna say punt.
So Marriage Story, it very much like takes the structure of like a classic like Kramer versus Kramer, but tries to take a more emotional approach to it. Adam Driver, the moment when he sings Being Alive is one of the best moments of the year. There's just so many great things about it. Like that fight when he punches the wall is great. Even though I ruined it for Coho when I showed him the dub of that being enacted with Goofy and Mickey Mouse with their voices. That is a real thing, and it was very sad but also funny. I would watch it if Goofy and Mickey got divorced and they made a 2-hour movie about it. But that's not important right now. That's for my conversation with Bob Iger later. I've got him tied up over here. But later, I should think Marriage Story is one of the best.
But anyway, I've got Marriage Story at 8.
Oh my god.
It's a mess.
But anyway, I've got Marriage Story at 5. This is one I was surprised by at most part, but I thought that all the performances were great and it deserves to get all the recognition it's getting. Jake, you had it a bit lower.
Yeah, I had it at 7. Marriage Story's great. I really like Marriage Story a lot. I think in comparisons to Kramer versus Kramer is not exactly warranted because that one's more focused on the husband in the situation, on Dustin Hoffman's character.
Fair.
This one is more 50-50 or 55-45 because I think it focuses a little bit more on Driver, especially later on in the movie, but I think you relate to both of them, and both of them are not the bad guys in the situation. Like it's just the circumstances put on them that each other have put on them, and I think it's very fascinating just how real it feels. Because Bombach did a lot of studying with how these court cases work and lawyers, and you start to understand how it all happens and how much it really puts a strain on both of them. Not even just their relationship between each other, but financially as well, and also Adam Driver has to move to Los Angeles so he can be with his kid and also look better for the case. And it's just so much that you feel for both of them, and it's just like, yeah, it's very powerful. And I am making a bold announcement. It's going to win the Best Original Screenplay Oscar.
Is that a bold prediction? Is that a bold prediction?
Well, I mean, the nominations haven't come out yet, and we don't know exactly the other nominees, but I'm going to say it now. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's winning.
I hope so. I really
as
hope
much
so.
as I would love to see another movie that I'm going to bring up really soon when that works, it's the best screenplay of the decade or in the original screenplay realm. But Marriage Story is great.
Yeah, so yeah, that's my review of Marriage Story. It's amazing. What is that?
Hashtag release the Goofy cut if you want me to release Bob Iger.
You misspelled Iger, that makes it so much better.
I will very quickly say my piece. I saw it. I liked it. I think the performances are great. I don't love the movie as much as a whole, but I love the musical company, and Adam Driver singing "Being Alive" owns my soul.
Randy Newman.
I own Bob Iger's soul.
Caleb, any words on Marriage Story?
It's phenomenal. Adam Driver should win Best Actor. He's amazing. Scarlett Johansson's also incredible. If both of them aren't acting at 100% the way they are, this movie falls apart. This movie lives and dies on their performances, and they are both unbelievable. You feel for both of them. There is no real villain between the two of them. Both have flaws. Both have bright spots, and I think that is a testament to the maturity of that screenplay, and that screenplay is brilliant. So.
But anyway, Cameron, what is your 765?
My number 7, which I doubt is going to be on anyone else's list, is John Wick Chapter 3: Parabellum.
Or just John Wick 3.
Or just John Wick 3,
John
but
Wick.
I'm giving the full title, which is John Wick Chapter 3: Parabellum.
No, it's John Wick Chapter 3 - Parabellum.
Actually, it's John Wick Ruben Colon edition.
My
Jake stand.
My number 6, which I assume is about to get whatever Coho's word, which is about to get zoinked up the board, is Rocket Man.
Zoink!
Yep, knew it. And my number 5 is the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Why did you emphasize the P?
It's the first syllable of the word. All right, so number 7, John Wick Chapter 3: Parabellum. I think this is this is what an action movie should be to me. It is really cool, really well done, well choreographed, well edited action with the story is not at the forefront of this movie, but the story of it is still really cool. You focus not just on John, but on the other characters that have been set up. The fight direction and the fight choreography in these are amazing. John Wick kills a man with a book. John Wick uses a horse as a weapon. John Wick rides a horse while fighting guys on motorcycles, and they all have swords. John Wick builds a gun and then shoots someone the moment they enter a door. Halle Berry uses dogs as weapons, and I don't know if that counts as animal cruelty, but it's cool as hell. It's
Time stamp it, Cam. Just that animal cruelty is cool as hell.
No. But I think it's just a really cool movie. It's really fun. The way it sets up for a fourth one is fantastic. I saw it at in a packed theater at midnight, and it was so rowdy and fun that I think it was great because everyone was just like, "Oh my goodness, who?" Because there's so many crazy kills. There's a moment where a knife goes straight into someone's eye, and I had to look away, but it was really cool. Yeah, John Wick Chapter 3: Parabellum. It's God-given name.
That's a Christian name, as some might say.
Correct.
Yeah, I caught up with John Wick's 1 and 2 this year. I still haven't seen John Wick 3.
Not surprised by that, but yeah,
This
it's a good
movie's
film.
this movie's fucking exhausting. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's like this is my least favorite of the John Wicks. Mainly because it's nonstop, and I wanted the action to be over faster, which shouldn't happen when you're watching an action movie. So
That's also not the words I said, but
I would say that this is I really like John Wick Chapter 3. I think it's my 13th of the year. All three John Wick films are consistent, yet they each feel unique in their presentation, story, characters, and I don't know. It's really great to see. I think it may be the best action film of this year. There's a lot at stakes, and it just keeps getting better and better with the choreography, and the situations keep getting bigger and bigger, and it doesn't fall apart yet. The franchise has not fallen apart yet, and I'm very curious to see how Chapter 4 plays out. But
with the way they set up Chapter 4, it's hoo boy, but not in the yikes way.
I would just like to say that Keanu Reeves knows how to wear a nice suit, and if he was my waiter, I would tip him $2 instead of $1. That's about it.
wow.
But seriously, I haven't seen this one because Alex Warden has ruined the first movie for me.
That is very accurate.
I don't want to know.
That's true.
I'm thinking I'm back.
Oh, fair enough. Oh yeah, I go to my next thing. Right, everyone's talked. My number 5 is Peanut Butter Falcon. Sorry, I got distracted. I think this movie is just delightful. It's fun. It's simple. It's well written and well directed. You have a great performance from Shia LaBeouf. You have a great performance from Zach Gottsagen. I think it's just a nice sit there, watch it, and be happy movie. It's just fun, and sometimes you just want a nice, fun, easy, turn your brain off movie. Not like some of the movies I'm going to talk about immediately after this one.
Yeah, I'll talk about this one. I think this is legitimately a great movie. It just barely missed my list. Shia LaBeouf is giving an amazing performance in this, and it's very much a movie about the journey, and the way that they kind of just let you live in the simple moments, I think is really nice. And I'm kind of sad this movie isn't getting more attention now, where it got a lot of its attention earlier in the year. I will admit it doesn't quite hold up on rewatch as much as I thought it would, but it's still very good.
It's been out for about a week here. I just haven't had a chance to see it yet.
I don't think it actually has been released here. I do want to see this film because I like Shia LaBeouf, and very curious as far as the plot of the movie. I know very little about it, which is intentional. I want to go in knowing very little. So yeah, whenever I get the chance to see it, I definitely will. I'm very curious.
Also, Bruce Dern is in it, and he's quite good.
I like Bruce Dern. He's cool.
Any words on Peanut Butter Falcon?
This movie
Caleb?
moves down the list for me every time I watch it. Not because it's bad, because I do really like this movie. It's really sweet. It's just it kind of loses a bit of rewatchability for me. I don't know why. I think it hits different the first time, and then every time you watch it, it kind of. As a De Niro, it just.
Yeah.
I found it very rewatchable, but then again, the first time I saw it, I was alone, and then I went with a very cute girl, so...
You hear that, cute girl who went to the movies with Cam? Cam thinks you're cute.
She doesn't watch this show.
That's right.
I don't even watch... No, I'm joking.
I watched the show on Multiplex.
Does anyone?
Hey,
I watched the show.
there's a reason that our first thing as Team 19 has a lot of views, and it's because I rewatch it a lot.
That is true. That is accurate.
I watched the show on Wednesdays with Cody.
Yeah.
But anyway, going to mine. My number 7's already been whatever up the list, it's Jojo Rabbit.
Who boy?
My number 6 is Us, and
Next
I've already talked about my number 5, which was Marriage Story. But yeah, Us is a movie that I think is one that shows Jordan Peele's how great he is at doing a horror movie. This one was a very interesting premise, and I just thought it was really interesting. And the performances by Lupita Nyong'o was amazing in this. I can't remember who played the other half, but
Winston Duke.
yeah, but yeah,
I thought you meant like who played the other version of her.
Yeah,
Like, it's
I was
also
about to
Lupita Nyong'o.
I was about to say, you're talking about Lupita Nyong'o?
yeah.
There's a
I'm
reason I
I'm
was
not that-
stuttering when I said Winston Duke.
yeah.
Like,
But this is fun, and even the score itself is just great. But yeah, anyone else with anything to say on Us?
I think I go back to this one more than I go back to Get Out. I don't think that means Us is a better movie. I just think that means Us is a more rewatchable movie for me. I think I'm not one that likes to get scared. So like when I go to watch like a thought-provoking movie, like I go to Get Out and I get scared because real life is Get Out. But I go to watch Us when it's like Lupita's fucking up fools, and that's kind of fun to watch. So I like Us. It was good.
This movie made me terrified of orange jumpsuits, but that's a different
They are
story.
You're red.
You are colorblind.
They're red that I need glasses.
Yeah.
I didn't love this movie. I thought it was decent, but not great. I think the best thing to come out of this movie is on John Mulaney's new children's musical special. There's a child talking about how she's afraid of getting murdered by her own doppelganger because she has seen this movie, and it's very fun. Yeah.
So the moral of your story: take your kids to see Jordan Peele's Us, the
Correct.
family hit of the year.
Listen. Take your family to see Jordan Peele's Candyman. It'll be a great time.
When it comes out, I mean, he's not directing. He's just a producer.
Clearly, the best family film of the year, though, is the
Serenity.
Yes, Serenity is the best family film of the year. If you like video games, that's the perfect movie.
It's the best
yes.
video game.
That's
The best video game movie of all time.
That's not an inaccurate statement.
Yeah. So yeah, I like Us a lot. I think I like Get Out more. But no, Us is really good. It's very well made. I really like the opening title credits with the opera music. I like that song. I think what it sets up with the chain across America. What's it called? Hands Across America or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That's really cool, and that I was not expecting that to come into play, and I thought that was really cool. And, there's some really nice stuff. The ending's a little to me, but other than that, very good film.
But Jake, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is a Birdman, a Yikes, what do you call it, Cameron? A Zooey?
Who boy?
A Zooey Mama?
Zooey Mama.
I hate that we all know what this is.
It's Booksmart.
Who boy?
Zooey Mama.
Zooey Mama.
Thank you, Rowley.
Okay, so does it go back to someone else now?
It does. Coho, what is your number 4?
Hi. My number 4 is Knives Out.
Bingo.
Yes.
Zooey Mama, Malcolm. That is cultural appropriation to say bingo.
Well, I don't get to talk about this yet.
Boatman, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It is a Zooey Mama from earlier.
Boo.
Okay, so here's the thing about me is I am a 20-year-old, but I'm also 186, depending if you count vampire years or not, or time traveler, or whatever I am. That is a discussion for another day. But more importantly, this movie is about late 60s Hollywood, and it's amazing because it's about late 60s Hollywood. This movie could have just been 2 hours of Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio stuck in a dark basement, and I would have been fine with that as long as they were talking about old 60s Hollywood. Yeah, but seriously, like, I really love this movie. I think the dialogue's great. I think the soundtrack's great. Like, it's not Tarantino's, like, all-time best, but I think the people who don't like it, like, they always say, oh, it's meandering, it's super slow. That's the point. You're just supposed to kind of live in this world for a while.
And Jake, you had it a little bit lower.
Yeah, I had it at 6. I watched this last night just because I hadn't seen it since the cinema, and I wanted to make sure if I really, really loved it, because I think I had it at my number 2, and I moved it down. I think this film is still like amazing. It's really weird to classify it under comedy, because I don't know if I would call it a comedy, because it's kind of hard to really put it in a genre, because there's just so many different options, so many different types of movies, and it's about movies, so it just makes it even harder. But this is just absolutely entertaining. I really like to analyze movies and look at the themes and all that sort of stuff. This one's just about having fun and the end of innocence in Hollywood. And I love the last 20 minutes, and what happens is amazing. And weed dipped in acid does not work in the way that it does in the movie, but that's okay. And yeah, this is a great movie.
If I wanted to watch people jerk off on stream, I'd go watch a Chris Day video.
Wow.
Cameron, any words on Once Upon a Time?
This is the closest I have ever come in my life to walking out of a movie theater.
Closest you ever come?
Fuck you. Oh my goodness! I just swore on stream. Oh no, my image. This movie feels so long, and like it is really long, but it feels even longer than that, and I just don't like it. I found it boring. If I wanted to watch a movie with Margot Robbie, if I wanted to watch Margot Robbie through a pair of feet, I'd put my feet up and watch any other Margot Robbie movie. But
Okay.
What does that even mean?
Margot Robbie, there's a full 5 minutes of that film dedicated to Margot Robbie sitting in a movie theater and watching herself on the screen, and you mostly see that screen through pairs of people's feet. And it's weird and it's uncomfortable, and I don't care. I think she is almost entirely unnecessary for that entire movie, except the ending. I think,
Cameron, stop kink shaming Quentin Tarantino. He's a good boy.
No, he's not. He's done so many bad things and used the N-word a lot. Listen, we're gonna stop. No, we're gonna stop there. We're gonna stop there before I get heated. I don't like this movie, but objectively, it's not horrible. So it's my 57 of the year.
Yeah. But yeah,
rated higher than us, but
Yikes.
But yeah, this landed at my number 20 for me. I enjoyed this movie. I thought the performances were great. Like for me, the whole Sharon Tate bit, it didn't pay off. Because I thought when they announced that Margot Robbie was going to play as Sharon Tate, I thought they were going to go more into the whole Manson dynamic than they did. But I mean, it's not a bad movie. It didn't make it. It's not what I would say was my top 10. But with that, we go on to Cameron. What is your number 4?
Yeah, my number 4 is definitely going to be Who Boyed up this list. My number 4 is Parasite.
Oh boy!
Yep. Cool. Move along.
My number 4 is Booksmart.
Who Boy.
Jake, what is your number 3?
Wait, okay, never mind. Number 3 is, this is tricky because technically this is a 2018 film, and I saw it in 2018, but it didn't get a wide release until 2019. And I contemplated putting it on this list or the 2018 list, but I decided, well, I'll just play by my own rules. And it is Climax, the Casper Noé orgy movie that he psychedelic acid movie that he made.
What? No, I'm joking. No.
This is the family-friendly movie of 2019.
This is the movie that will play in movie theaters in Iowa, where Caleb Boatman and farmers go.
This is
But
the
here's
movie-
the question: does it have corn in it? Do they fuck a corn husk? Is an ear of corn inserted into something?
No comment. You have to watch the movie to find out.
That's the twist. Is it was a ear of corn all along?
The corn did it. So
Oh my god!
I love Gaspar Noé. He is a very interesting filmmaker. Nobody makes films the way he does, and I would argue to say this is his best movie because it's the most simple in plot, yet execution, the technical execution of the amount of one takes he had to do in this movie, and the actors' performances and how they are treating being on acid is really incredible without even seeing any like vision, hallucinations and all that sort of stuff. Like, you're just getting how they're feeling from their performances. The music's also really great. There's some amazing use of music and techno and all the stuff that you expect from Gaspar Noé. I also just love the cinematography and the camera work, and this is a really great movie about dancers who get laced with LSD and acid and start to do crazy stuff. And that's all I'll say. It's very interesting, and you should go watch it.
Yeah, I haven't seen this. Cameron, any thoughts on Climax?
Of course I have thoughts on it. My number 1 thought is I didn't see it. And my number 2 thought is woo.
Boatman, anything on Climax?
So I didn't see this movie, but at Thanksgiving, my uncle talked about it very loudly, and it made the room very uncomfortable.
Wait, is this true?
So
Is this true?
that's for you to find out.
Guys, you know it's a lie because Bowman doesn't have an uncle. He doesn't even have a dad.
Coho, any words on Climax?
I might have 2 uncles and no dad. Or 2 dads and no
You might have
uncle.
3 dads in a hotel in Greece.
That is that. Did you
I
talk to the
actually
FBI?
I'm hoping somebody gets that.
Did you talk
I
to the
have
FBI?
actually seen Climax.
You
It's
have actually
crazy.
climaxed?
This is a mess.
It is a weird movie, but it's really well done. Like, I respect it. I'm never gonna watch that movie again, but I respect it. The thing that I have to give it the most credit for is the cinematography. The way that, like, he kind of has things happening on the edges of the frames that you want the camera to look at so you can see what's going on. And he's like, no, that doesn't matter. And you're like, oh, damn. So,
Also, shout out the way, you know how when a movie opens, there's the opening credits? Like, maybe the title reveals.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff. He does the end credits at the beginning of the movie and the opening credits halfway during the movie. That's how crazy he is, and that should be rewarded.
I'm not gonna lie, I was really confused when that happened. I thought the movie was over.
That was so cool. It was like 40 minutes in, and the opening credits happened. It's like, wait, what? Is
I
the
thought
movie
the-
starting?
I thought the movie was over.
Anyway, Coho, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is a movie that I don't know if any. I know Boatman's seen it. I don't know if Jake's seen it. I know Cam hasn't watched it yet. It's called The Art of Self-Defense.
I have seen it,
Right.
and it's not a Who Boy.
Okay. Well, Jake, have
We
you seen
talked
it?
about this.
I have no. I really want to. I've been told to see it.
Okay. So for the people in the chat who don't know what this is a movie. It stars Jesse Eisenberg, written and directed by Riley Stearns, about this guy who gets assaulted pretty early on in the movie, and he's like a really like sheltered, mundane kind of day-to-day life, very kind of off-kilter sort of person. He gets assaulted. He goes to a dojo to learn karate. The entire vibe of the movie, I would say, is like Coen Brothers meets Dan Gilroy, with a little bit of Yorgo sprinkled in. It's very off color, but it's super interesting. It gets really dark. Alessandro Nivola, who plays the sensei, is unbelievable. He's really good. It's funny, it's scary, it's sad, it's dramatic. It's a great film.
I saw this movie. It was actually very good. It's very, like, I think the way Koho described it pretty much fits. I also say maybe a little bit of Wes Anderson in there as well, at least with the rhythm of not really with the style, but with the rhythm of the dialogue is what I mean.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like the way the dialogue is done. I feel like kind of like a Wes Anderson style, but it's very good. And yes, I enjoyed it a lot.
I saw this because you told me to, and I will say this much. Like, I really liked it. I didn't love it. I don't want to spoil it because it's so crazy and it's so twisty and turny. But the way that like the way the climax of the movie happens, the way like the very end, there's the big confrontation. The way that happens is one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. It's so sudden. It's so incredible. I loved it.
It is Eisenberg's best performance since The Social Network.
Batman v Superman.
Excuse you, sir.
Ding 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 ding.
Sorry, the end credit scene of Justice League.
Thank you.
It hasn't come out here, so I haven't seen it. Jake, it hasn't come out for you.
No, when it comes out, I think it's on iTunes. I may just.
It is on iTunes.
So I probably just go rent it and watch it.
But Boatman, what is your number 3?
Joker.
That was my 9, so cool.
Yeah. I think this is really well made. I mean, everything that you can kind of say about this movie has already been said. It's very like 70s, 80s Scorsese-esque, very inspired by Taxi Driver. It's such an expansive kind of dive into what this character acts like and how he feels. And I think that's so smart. And Joaquin Phoenix is scary good in this movie. He's like fantastic. And the final confrontation with him and Murray Franklin is one of the best scenes of the year.
Yeah, just give Joaquin Phoenix the Oscar.
Honestly, yeah.
But I thought you said Adam Driver should get the Oscar.
Yeah, give him the Oscar too.
Yeah,
both Oscar.
We're
gonna do a Barbra Streisand. We're just gonna tie the Oscar again. Maybe we should split it a 3-way tie because
I know, do a 5-way tie. Just why not?
Everyone this year is gonna get an Oscar statue.
Everyone's a winner. You are winning.
Is Oprah doing the voting this year?
You get an Oscar.
You get an Oscar. Except you, Brent Cooper.
Except you.
But yeah,
Except for you, Meryl Streep, you have enough.
yeah, I mean, I thought Joker was fine. I didn't love it as much as I would have loved to, but yeah, it's a good movie, and I think Joaquin Phoenix was definitely a great performance. But yeah,
I liked it. It's in like my top 20 of the year. Joaquin's good.
It is my 17th favorite of the year. It may go down on my second viewing. The best scene is when he dances on the what's it called?
The stairs.
The stairs. That's what it's called. To the song from Abby Gilmore. It's great. He's really good in the movie. He really dedicated himself a lot to just playing this character, and I'm happy for Joaquin. If he wins, I'm even more happy, even though we should go to Adam Driver. But other than that, it's a good movie, and it's even better because there is nothing to do with Batman in it, as Todd Phillips would say. It is great because of no Batman connection, even though he's lying. That's just my little rant.
But Kevin, what is your 3?
Yes, my number 3. I am surprised. I am not the only person to have a French film at number 3 on their list. My number 3 is Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Yeah, I assumed no one would say it because.
It hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think anybody saw it. I saw it 2 days ago.
I believe it's wrong
Listen.
to set women on fire. So
Listen.
I have the moral high ground.
Cam, France hasn't seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire. They nominated Les Miserables for foreign language
That's
film.
true.
You're
This
right.
is very true. But okay, I think this film is incredible. For those who don't know, which is probably everybody, this is a story about like an artist who she's hired to paint a portrait of this young lady, but the woman refuses to be painted because the idea is that the portrait is a gift to be given upon her marriage to her new husband. But this woman does not want to be married, and so she refuses to pose and sit for anyone to paint her. And as such, this woman makes friends with her and goes on walks with her so that she can slowly memorize her face and her features and the way she acts and the way she stands in certain ways, so that she can paint this woman. And then the two of them begin forming an actually very close relationship. And then she starts to feel sort of guilty about what she's doing because she's betraying her trust. And throughout it, there's just incredible scenes of this painting being made, and the painting symbolizes how their relationship is going. The scene where the titular portrait's image is shown, where you see the image that it's based on, is incredible. It has the single best piece of music I have heard in any film this year. It's an incredible piece. It's got 4 cast members in the whole movie, and they're all incredible. It's just really good. Please watch it. Why didn't France pick this as their choice for best foreign language film? Or sorry, best international film.
Yeah, don't be racist.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Alfonso.
I would argue that they picked it because probably because of the fact that you and not a lot of people have probably seen and probably more familiar with Les Miserables. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but Les
sounds like
Miserables
it.
is not an adaptation of Les Miserables. It's just a different movie called Les Miserables. That's about
It's like-
teens being sad.
It's like Romeo plus Juliet. It was just a modern setting, right?
No,
Oh, okay.
not in the
But
slightest.
But anyway,
Anybody want to comment on Portrait of a Lady on
I
Fire?
don't. I mean,
No one's seen it.
yeah.
That's
I
the
don't
joke.
set people on fire anymore.
Hey, no one sets her on fire. She catches fire naturally and or through magic. It's kind of unclear.
Wait, what? Is that a spoiler?
No, it is not a spoiler. The fire is technically insignificant, but it's a great scene.
But anyway, my number 3 is Midsommar.
I didn't see it.
Neither did I.
I saw it. It was really good.
Yeah, this is definitely what one of Florence Pugh's great performances from this year. She's really been killing it, which is why I'm actually excited to see Little Woman, because I've heard that she's really great in that as well. But this is one that I watched. I went into this kind of half-heartedly because after hearing it from the same guy that did Hereditary, which I really did not enjoy, I didn't know what I'd make of this one. But I actually found that I thought the story was really good and it's really interesting, and all the performances were great. But yeah, the whole cult aspect of the movie just felt really bizarre and just enjoyable. Anyone with any comments on Midsommar?
Midsommar, I really liked. It's like a horror film, but it's completely in the day. which is kind of an interesting juxtaposition. There's a lot of like creepy Swedish stuff that happens, and it's one that may get better or worse on my second viewing. I really like how it's kind of a metaphor for like the deterioration of a relationship, of like a horror. It's like a horror movie about a breakup in a interesting situation in circumstances that happens, and like the ending is, I find to be really really cool. I really like the production design, all the houses and all the sets that were built look really good, and yeah, I guess Ari Aster just really likes making cult movies, because this is no exception to Hereditary. I think Hereditary is better, but this is a very well made film.
I haven't seen it, but I've been told it's like The Wicker Man again. So that's my comment.
Coho, any words on Midsommar?
No comment.
Jake, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is, you know how I was just talking about how Climax is technically a 2018 film, but because it got a wide release in 2019, it technically means it's a 2019 film. Well, I just realized that I'm kind of a hypocrite, because my 2019 film is a film that got released in 2019, but probably won't get a wide release until 2020. And that is the Makoto
Pulling
Shinkai
a double
film.
Kirk Kawakowski.
I know. It is Weathering with You, the Makoto Shinkai film that is really, really great. I've become a big Shinkai fan over the past year. Your Name is one of my favorites, and this is his follow-up, and it's very similar in the sense that it's about star-crossed lovers and a supernatural presence that either breaks or joins them together, and it's fascinating. The animation is one of the best of the year. I think he's the best animated director. He just knows how to tell visual stories and tell it in a way that just feels so hyper realistic, and the relationship between the leads are really believable, and they just have this like whimsical sense of optimism about them that I really relate to. And the circumstances put on them, or the situations, feels believable, yet it feels like a movie. Like, he's not trying to tell anything other than just a really engaging story about people who have a connection between them, and I relate to everything about it. And there's also some timely messages about global warming, and other than that, and gun violence as well, which is kind of weird, but it's one that I can't wait to watch when it comes out, and everyone should watch this movie.
Anyone else seen it?
Nope.
No one's ever seen it.
No.
I think it got like a very limited release in America, but I think it's getting a wide release sometime in 2020.
I haven't seen it, but I nominated it for the co-Oscars because I didn't want to nominate Wonder Park.
Listen here. Spies in Disguise is good. It's better
I'm
than
talking
Frozen 2.
about.
Hey.
Talking about the summer co-Oscars. I have 5 for the December co-Oscars.
Good.
Anyway, Caleb, what is your number? Coho, what is your number 2?
Number 2 is Rocket Man. This movie is beautiful. I was not expecting to love this movie. I wasn't even going to see this movie. And I saw it. And the moment that I realized this was going to be a musical using Elton John songs, and it's whimsical and fantastical, and Edgerton crushes it, I was like, this is made for me. Fletcher is incredible. Give him all the movies as a director. Edgerton, if Rami can win for Boho Rap, Edgerton should win for Rocket Man. He's better in every conceivable way. Yeah, Rocket Man is beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. I love everything about it. I'm a Rocket Man. Burning on the shoes up here a lot.
I think it's going to be a lot of time.
Ooh.
Cameron, you had it lower.
Yeah, I had it at somewhere. Where's my list? I just changed the page.
Somewhere over.
I had it at 6.
No, he had it Beyond the Electric Road.
Did you have it below Judy?
Absolutely not. Not
Good.
even close.
Good.
Yeah, that movie was pretty trash.
Judy isn't great.
Anyways, we're talking about Rocket Man, not Judy. Yeah, Rocket Man was my 6. I saw this multiple times in the theater. I really enjoyed it, especially the first time I saw it because I went and got to see it for free in recliner seats at a screening for Gay Pride Month, which is super duper fun. It's just great. Taron Egerton's fantastic. It's Elton John music, and you gotta love that. Jamie Bell is great in it. The main negative thing that I have to say about this movie is that Bryce Dallas Howard's makeup is one of the most distracting things I've ever seen. It is not great, and it hurts to look at, but it's made up for because the makeup on Taron Egerton is done so well. Yeah, I really like this movie. It's very fun, and it's a musical, unlike Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. I enjoyed what they did with Rocket Man. And I thought that turning his life story into a musical was an interesting way to do a biopic. It did miss my list though, but I just thought it was average. Like the performances were great and the songs were great. Apart from that, it wasn't enough to put in my top 10. But any other words on Rocket Man?
I love this movie. It's actually my number 11 of the year, so it just missed out on my top 10. I'm a big Elton John fan. I got to see him play about a month ago, and that was amazing of an experience. It feels like it comes from the mind of Elton John, like the characters, the personality, the musical centric theme, the musical ideas, and all that sort of stuff. Esque parts of it feel like it came from the mind of him, and I think that's really great. Like his personality like shines throughout the film, and I really love the ending and when he's inserted into that one music video. That found that to be really cool and a nice little homage to that. And you just feel for the guy because he tells his life and what happens, and he became a better person because of it. And if you're a big fan of Elton John, then this is like the best film for you, honestly. And never forget, he married producer David Furnish, who produced the film "It's a Boy Girl Thing" from 2006, which is a masterpiece of
Starring
cinema
Kevin
and
Zegers, if I'm not
Kevin
mistaken.
Zegers of Air Bud fame and Samara Armstrong from the OC.
And also Concussion in Zoom Academy for Superheroes.
Boatman, anything on Rocket Man?
Yeah, I mean this was a really fun movie. I think Bryce Dallas Howard is kind of rough in this movie, and she brings it down a bit. But the movie itself is a really good kind of expansion of what a biopic can be. I'd also like to say I didn't know that was who played Concussion in Zoom Academy for Superheroes. And honestly, I can't say that if that movie came out in 2019, it wouldn't be on my list.
Anyway, Boatman, what is your
Sorry,
number two?
can I make one last comment? Sorry, because co-host said something that reminded me. This is not Dexter Fletcher's best movie. Watch Sunshine on Leith, please. Please do it. It's so good.
Okay, well, mine.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy.
Perfect.
No, that's the other guy.
That's
And I'm the other guy.
No. The other guy is off making a cornhole documentary for Pornhub community.
Okay.
I'm Bowman. What's your 2?
All right. Well, my number 2 is a movie from 2019. As they all are.
This is a train wreck in an entirely different capacity.
I feel like everyone wants to die. Everyone wants to go to sleep. And
honestly,
I
really just want to go to sleep. I'm very tired. I was on a call with Dan Skip Allen earlier. I just want to go to sleep. So my number 2 is The Farewell. This movie is very sad, but also very funny. I don't want to spoil too much about it because not enough people have seen it, and there's a lot of tragedy and a lot of comedy in it. The cast is fantastic, specifically Shuzhen Zhao, who plays the grandmother. It's subtitles, but honestly, if you're lame and don't like watching movies with subtitles, you're not good enough for this movie. That's just a fact.
Karen fucking Teed. This movie's alright.
Yeah, no, this is a great film. Shut up, guy. Don't know anything about film. This is I think it's my 12th. This is my 12th favorite film of the year. It's such a brilliant, simple film, and in execution, it works because of the setup. And it doesn't do anything else other than the setup because it just knows exactly what kind of film it's trying to be. And I do love the whole wedding aspect of the movie and how that comes into play. And you just feel for all the characters. I think Awkwafina's amazing in this movie. She really she plays like the every person, the every girl, the everyday girl,
The every ma'am.
the every man, and it's just you just really relate to like what's going on because we all have families and we all feel for families and
You don't know what I got.
that's true. Bowman doesn't have any fathers, so how would he know? Other than that, it's also great to look at American and Chinese culture and how different they view it and traditions and all that stuff is really fascinating. I really like this movie and it should get some attention at the Oscars. I'd be very happy if Lulu Wang got a Best Director nomination, but because the Academy are sexist, it probably won't. Who cares? Farewell should get some attention, please.
The Farewell is like May 28th, I think, of the year.
What are you wearing? What is that? A Star Trek thing?
These are my headphones.
It looks like a Star Trek thing.
You look
Jordy
like
LaForge, beam me up, Scotty.
but right now you look like Princess Leia if she
You look like Princess Leia if she was going to a rave.
Yes.
Yeah, Farewell's fine.
Skywalker.
Shuzhen Zhao is really, really good.
That's a person.
Oh, is that all you're saying? I never finished this movie, and the reason why it's not because it's bad, it's actually very good. The reason why is because I wanted to give it its full attention, and I was about to pass out, and then I fully forgot to go back to it until you reminded me just now that this did in fact come out this year, and I forgot to finish it. I will be watching it though.
And I'm a lame guy who doesn't like the movie's subtitles. I just find it really hard to. I just find it really hard to concentrate on both the actual story and try and figure out what people are saying. But yeah,
I hate when people say that because it's like I hate looking at the screen because there's.
Do you hate books because you have to read them and know the story at the same time, Malcolm?
No, I mean it's
boom. Roasted.
I mean, it's for me. Books are different because you do sort of follow along to it at the same time. It's for me. It's just a concentration thing. I just can't concentrate and see words. Anyway, watching number 2.
Malcolm, have you seen Do the Right Thing? Have you seen the Spike Lee movie Do the Right Thing? You know that scene in Do the Right Thing when John Turturro and Spike Lee are talking, and John Turturro is like, well, Michael Jordan's black, but he's not black. That's what you're saying about books and subtitles. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, sorry. I'll make my analogy better because books don't have visuals to go along with them. When you're reading a children's picture book,
yeah,
do the words make it worse?
I'm very lost in this conversation. Why are we talking about Malcolm's autobiography?
Yeah, all right, I'm supposed to talk about my number 2 now, right?
What is your 2?
What is my 2?
Yes.
Malcolm, what is my 2? I
have the
Jojo
list.
Rabbit, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness, how did I forget about that? Jojo Rabbit, which has been moved down this list by basically everyone, I think. I loved this film. This film was charming. This film was delightful. It's a great satire. It's just fun. Roman Griffin Davis is fantastic. Scarlett Johansson is incredible in it. Taika Waititi, as far as I'm concerned, should get a supporting actor nomination or at least be in consideration because he's incredible in that movie. It's fun. I think it's incredibly well directed. The scene, there's a scene where you see some shoes where you definitely don't want to see some shoes. I'm not going to spoil things for anyone, but when you see those shoes, you see Scarlett Johansson's shoes and you definitely don't want to see them where they are. When that happens, like it's so well done and well filmed. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's hilarious. Please go see it. And please don't let World War III happen. Hashtag it's trending on Twitter.
Hold on, I'm sorry. What's trending on Twitter?
World War III.
World War III.
Why?
Apparently,
they
Donald
killed
Trump's
someone.
declared war on Iran or something.
He hasn't declared war, but he did kill a man. Will order the death of a man.
And we're surprised?
Franz Ferdinand 3.0.
Anyway, enough about Trump and more about Jojo Rabbit. Bowman, you had it at 7 as did everyone else.
Yeah, so all I know is I didn't try to kill a man this year. But more importantly, Jojo Rabbit. This movie actually is very, very good. I think it's very funny. Taika Waititi is hilarious. Sam Rockwell is giving a very funny but kind of desperate performance in this movie, and I really like him in this movie. But also because I really like Sam Rockwell, he might be my favorite actor now. But yeah, I think, and then Thomasin McKenzie is amazing in this movie. She's
going to be an Edgar Wright's new movie, and I'm a shill.
Yes. I'm very excited. Last Night in Soho, 2020. Yeah.
My New Year's 2020 revolution, whatever you say. Do you hear the people say? Boatman said, "Well, for me, don't criticize me for the criticize me for the people I shot." And that's exactly how I feel. That's how I feel right now. Jojo Rabbit is a beautiful movie. A beautiful, beautiful movie about hate. And that's weird to say, that a movie about hate can be so beautiful and funny. Because it's this, Roman Griffin Davis is incredible, but Thomasin McKenzie, give her the Oscar. She was so fucking good in this movie. And I think when it comes down to it, this is maybe the most important comedy of the decade. I think the story that it tells, the messages it carries, the theme of the movie is so relevant today by taking a world that has existed in our history. And I think that was so smart, and Waititi did it with such grace and with such funniness. I had words and I just died. Boatman shot me. But yeah,
you can't prove anything.
He Natalie Wooded me off a ship. But it was
he Christopher Walken you off a ship.
But it was. Wait, hold on. Did Jake just go ooh as in too soon? Did that happen in the 70s?
No, he said we can't confirm whether or not that happened. It's the same with we can't confirm that O.J. Simpson murdered 2 people. We can't.
We?
I was there when he murdered 2 people. I helped.
Christopher Walken is Kato Kalin.
But anyway,
I love the idea that Christopher Walken's the Grim Reaper. Anyway,
he is in Cliff, right?
I don't know.
Is it the Angel of Death?
I'm whatever angel you want me to be.
I can't tell if
Mike Wazowski is Christopher Walken.
I can't tell if Boatman cammed off just so he could only do the voice and not have us see him, or if there's something else happening.
But anyway, yeah, I thought Jojo was a fun movie. And I know a lot of people are probably not surprised that a Kiwi guy's got a movie by Kiwi directors on his list, but
The green
but
stripe. The green stripe is here.
but this is just a fun movie, and it's one that I didn't quite know much about, just because I hadn't heard of the book it's based on before, but it's just a fun premise, and this is one that could have gone a lot all over the place. It had been tamed by the wrong person, but I think Taika was the perfect person to do it. And I can't wait till it comes out in Australia so Jake can see it.
Well, I mean, I'm actually watching it tomorrow. There's a cinema a little further away because it was supposed to come out on Boxing Day, and they kept advertising it, and then it just got pushed to I think like the 13th. But it's already out in a couple other cinemas, so I'm just gonna see it tomorrow because it's my day off. So yeah, that's what's happening in my life for everyone who's curious.
But Jake, what is your number one?
Number one is the best film.
Oh,
of
wait a minute. I haven't done my own.
Okay.
But it's, my number two is Avengers Endgame.
Nerd.
Did you not watch any other movies this year?
That is legally allowed.
Yeah, it is legally allowed.
As someone on the internet would say, if you don't have Endgame in the top three, you're a stupid person.
Yes. I was gonna say the person thing, but I didn't want to.
Malcolm, do you want to know what happened to River Phoenix? Because I know.
Too dark.
But yeah, I mean, Endgame was one that was number one on my list for quite a while. I didn't think anything was actually going to knock it off. But I mean, Endgame is just a perfect movie. The way that it tackled sort of recovering from the snap and then getting everything back to its place was just fun. I don't know where the MCU is going from here, but it's going to be interesting to see sort of who the next sort of big bad they have to do over next Dark and that. But yeah, Caleb, yeah, you had it at 9.
Yeah, this is a good movie. It's way too high at 2. I mean, it's like the culmination of the MCU, but like it's a series finale, which is like nice, but like 2 is really high. But okay.
It would have been my number 10 if I was doing my top 10 favorites of the year, but it's not top 2 of the year.
If Captain Marvel wasn't in the movie, then it would be my favorite film of all time.
Of course.
Thank you, Jim.
But no, other than that,
Is that Ryan Purvison I see there, Junior?
This is a good film. Yeah, everyone loves Endgame. It's the highest grossing film of all time. It's well done. I think it's somewhere in like the top. It's in my top 20 for sure, but I really do like a lot of it. The Captain Marvel Ex Machina at the end is the one thing I don't like about it. But other than that,
But Jake, would you still like this movie if there was a talking pig in it?
I am trying to get the reference, but I think too.
Oh, Ryan won't watch Spider-Verse because of Spider-Man.
Ah, that's right. Yes.
I don't know if one person was here doing a best of 2019. Let's see, probably try and
2019 would be Man of Steel.
Well, he'll probably try and argue for a movie from that had a wide release last year and put it in this year. Hashtag hostiles.
Hostiles, yeah.
But yeah, now Jake, what is your number one?
My number one of 2019 is the best film of 2019, I believe. It's a film that got so much recognition and a massive reception once it premiered at Cannes. It, in fact, won the Palme d'Or. It is a film from Bong Joon-ho, and you already know what the film is, but anyway, it is Parasite.
Zoinks! Oh wait, that's also my one. Sorry,
Okay.
that's also my one.
Okay, cool.
I forgot we were on ones. I'm sorry.
Yes, Parasite is great. I went into this knowing nothing about it. All I knew is that it was directed by Bong Joon-ho and it won the Palme d'Or. And that was enough for me to be like, this is going to be the best film ever. And I left absolutely floored and thinking that this is one of the best films I've seen this decade. Well, not this decade, because it's a new decade. Last decade. And I saw it again a month or so ago. And it just further proved that I love this movie. There's so many twists and turns throughout the movie that you just don't know where it's going. You probably get an idea like in the first 20, 30 minutes. And then once that shift happens, you just don't know where it's going. And it really deals with, classism and how each family is kind of views the world. The rich family sees a rainbow from it's been raining, but to the poor family, their house is being flooded. There's a lot of great juxtaposition between both families, and it's just so funny. It's funny, scary, dramatic, and it's really, really great. And I love the ending. It's both satisfying and ambiguous, which I don't know if a lot of films can do that. And The Rock, like Nico's Rock, is a metaphor. It's very metaphoric.
Can we give Bong Joon-ho the Oscar for Best Director?
Please.
Yeah.
We can.
This
We should.
movie, like today, this movie is perfect. There's nothing I would change. I think this movie is incredible. It makes my top 10 of the decade. Yeah, honestly, it's the best movie of the year, and I didn't know anything about it. I watched it and I went, I don't know if this is my best of the year or my favorite or whatever, because I've always seen it, I didn't know how to feel, and I slept on it. I woke up and I'm like, get the fuck over yourself. This is the best movie you've seen all year by a landslide. It's just the way that he plays with the different tones, how it goes from being funny to dramatic to serious to scary to lighthearted, all the way through to being. There's even kind of parts that are a little bit romantic. It's a movie that kind of hits everything, and every character is interesting, is well written, is fleshed out. It's an incredible ensemble cast. Song Kang-ho is specifically great. So is Park So-dam. Both of them are my two best performances in that movie. Yeah, I don't want to say anything about it. I just want people to watch it.
Yeah, no, I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Malcolm.
Well, I was about to say you had it lower. What were you going to say?
Yeah, this movie is fantastic. Very bad for the peach industry in general, but still a very good movie.
It's okay. Face Off will save the peach industry when we remake it.
And the Call Me By Your Name. Call Me By Your Name, I think, is also
That's a
very
great
good.
trilogy right there. Like the Peach
The
trilogy.
Peach Trilogy.
The Peach trilogy. Well, one of them is the Peach fucking movie.
Well, one is where Nicolas Cage wants to fuck the peach. The second one is where
Wants to
Armie
eat a
Hammer
peach.
does. And then the third is what happens when the peach strikes
Fights back.
Yeah.
There you go.
The Peach.
Revenge.
Can we just hand this to Richard Linklater and call it Richard Linklater's Peach trilogy?
Yes, please.
Before Peach.
After Peach and Revenge of the Peach.
Peach Strikes Back.
But this movie's very good. There's a sequence in this movie, specifically it is when the scene really involving Peaches is one of the best edited scenes of the year. Legitimately one of the best just sequences of the year. It's so rhythmic and amazing. It's incredibly well done.
Yeah, I had this at 4, I believe. I've only seen this once so far. I did really, really like it. I think if I saw it again, it would probably move higher up on my list. It's just fantastic. It's incredibly directed. I also knew basically nothing going into it, other than it was Bong Joon-ho, who I think is fantastic. I love his last 2 films. It's very strange. The third act is wild. Go see it. The Rock in this there's a Rock in this movie that's better than The Rock in any movie this year.
It's better than Nico's Rock.
Better
Better than
Nico's.
He actually
Dwayne The
did
Rock
something.
Johnson.
The Rock actually did something in the
Yeah.
movie, while Nico's did nothing.
Nico's
The
Rock
only thing,
cost
the
him
only thing
Game
The
of
Rock
Action.
did is played Danny DeVito in a film.
Nico's Rock cost him Game of Factions. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But
Plot
yeah,
twist. I'm Nico's Rock. I am the voices in Nico's head. You're welcome.
but yeah, we already know we already know Coho's number one because it's the same move run. So Boatman, what is your number one?
Okay, well, my number one is a film that I think is very, very good. It is Uncut Gems. I'm going to give a little bit of a plot breakdown of this movie in case people don't know it. So it centers around super spy Lance Sterling and scientist Walter Beckett. They are almost exact opposites. Lance is a smooth, suave, and debonair. Walter is not. But what Walter lacks in social skills, he makes up for in smarts and invention, creating awesome gadgets Lance uses on his epic missions. But when Lance turns into a pigeon, they have to learn to work together. And that's what Uncut Gems is about. And I think it's one of the best movies of 2019. It should get all the Oscars. I loved it. Goodbye and good night and good luck.
Why is everyone just leaving?
Co-host away from the screen at the moment. Cameron, what do you think of Uncut Gems?
I saw it. I really enjoyed it. I think I prefer Good Time over this. But I think they're both great. Adam Sandler is fantastic in that movie. Although there's some stuff that I don't need to hear him talk about as much as he talks about. I think it's really good. I think Kevin Garnett, who is a basketball player I have never heard of, gives a great performance considering the fact that he's a basketball player that I've never heard of. The Weeknd is in this movie, and I know one of his cousins, so that's always cool. Yeah, I know a member of the Calendar. But yeah, it was great. It was cool. I don't want to spoil it because it's very new. The ending is very tense, and that opal's real pretty.
I'm gonna come. Adam Sandler, give him the Oscar.
I had it prepped on my board because I knew you were going to say it.
We haven't seen that. We have not seen it. It has not come out here yet. I want to see this movie. I love Good Time. I think that is a great film. Yeah, I really want to see Adam Sandler give a great performance.
Give him the Oscar.
Give him the Oscar, not Adam Driver or what.
No, give it to all three. Literally split it those three ways.
There's been a tie at the Oscars before. Do it
Give
again.
it a three-way Oscar tie between those three. They're all deserving.
Coho, were you here for Bowman's plot description? Of Uncut
I was
Gems?
not. Sorry.
You missed the hell. It was very detailed and precise, and
It was-
he explained everything that went
I
on.
want.
Very
Tell me it again. I'm here now.
Okay, so Uncut Gems from 2019 is a very good movie. In an adorably different town of Uglyville, weirdness is celebrated, strangeness is special, and beauty is embraced as more than meets the eye. After traveling to the other side of the mountain, Moxie and her ugly doll friends discover perfection, a town where conventional dolls receive training before entering the rest of the real world to find the love of a child. Soon, the ugly dolls learn what it means to be different, ultimately realizing they don't have to be perfect to be amazing. Directed by the Safdie brothers, and you see a colonoscopy performed on Adam Sandler.
A ribbon colonoscopy?
Hey Jake,
Yes.
I wrote you, but you ain't calling.
But anyway, Kevin, what is your number one?
Yeah. My number one is Cats. No, I'm joking. My number one is Ugly Dolls. My number one is Booksmart. It's obviously Booksmart. As much as I did legitimately see Ugly Dolls from start to finish, my number one is Booksmart. I like this movie. Very much speaks to me specifically because I am 19. I recently graduated. I am 19. I have literally never been to a party in my entire life. And this movie is just fantastic. Like, it's fun. Caitlin Dever and Beanie Feldstein are both incredible in this movie. I think Caitlin Dever's performance is fantastic. My favorite part of this movie is Billy Lord. Billy Lord is fully unhinged and crazy in this film.
Best
I am a
character
golden
in the movie.
starfish. I am a golden starfish is I think one of my favorite quotes, and also her short little monologue about losing her virginity.
Losing
in
your
the
virginity in the
graveyard.
graveyard. The spirits wander.
Caleb Boatman says that Billy Lord's performance in this movie is reminiscent of Robin Williams in Aladdin.
What?
I also might have been very tired when I said
No,
that.
Okay.
you did not.
Anyways.
Nope,
I
nope,
said
nope,
that
you
at
said
4
that.
a.m.
Ladies,
I said that at
quiet.
11 a.m. You said that at 11
Boys.
p.m.
It was at 3
I will turn this car around. Thank
I
you.
will-
Sorry, Mom.
No, I
Can I
love
have
this
a
film.
juice
It's
box?
so fun. I've watched
Fuck
it a
you.
lot. Jared is such a sad person, and I love him. It's got like, despite the fact that it's a comedy, it's actually got like really interesting storytelling twists. The music in it is fantastic. There's a dance sequence that's really, really fun. The scene, I think the best scene in the movie is probably the scene in the pool. Just the way it's directed and the way it's filmed and the music on it is fantastic.
That
Highly
song
recommend
today
it.
is the song that was in the 8th grade trailer, and I just want to clarify, note that down for people.
It's not that song that goes sail away, sail away, sail away.
No, that's Orinoco Flow. I'm talking about the
other
Yeah.
8th grade trailer.
no. It's in the same trailer, but there's
Okay.
we're getting up to
Anyways, Booksmart. If you didn't see it, please go see it. I want it to win all the Golden Globes, but it can't because it was only nominated for one. I'm rooting for you, Beanie. She's Jonah Hill's sister.
I found that out not long ago, and I was very surprised by it.
But
Jonah
yeah,
Hill. Jonah Hill makes me sad.
Is it because he's more talented than you'll ever be?
Yes.
but I mean, Booksmart was a movie that I really enjoyed. Because as soon as it came out, after everyone in America be telling me that I have to see this, I went to see it, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought this was a better version, a better Superbad than Superbad was. But yeah, this was a fun movie. Coho, what have anything to say?
I love this movie.
Okay, so
I
this
was
movie,
expecting a butt, but
no, that's it.
I do. I love this movie. It's my 14th favorite movie of the year. I think it's great. I love it. Caitlin Dever should win an Oscar. She's great. Billy Lord's not Robin Williams, you bitch, but she's still good. She's still great. Olivia Wilde is the reason why the worst scene in that movie exists. So I'd say she did a great job directing it, but she gave us the doll scene.
Did you just
And
blame
drugs.
Booksmart on
hey,
Garth?
the doll
at the
scene
chat.
is fun. The doll scene
'Cause-
is fun, and the commentary in it is fantastic.
Apparently, Garth is the reason we got Booksmart.
That praise be to Wise Fetus, because we have
Thank
Booksmart
you.
because of Garth. Garth, I'm not even gonna lie. You have the coolest life.
Yeah.
Like you've literally said like 3 different things just randomly, nonchalantly in chats that I'm like you taught Da Vinci to paint. I was like, what? Like stuff like that.
He's like the Tom Dagnino of this community.
No, but it's like
It's the crazy stories.
it's like he's just like, I taught Olivia Wilde how to edit. I taught Jeff Johns how to write comic books or something like that. I can't remember.
I can beat him. I can beat him, Schmodown fans. Brendan Meyer once saw me in a local theater production of The Wizard of Oz, and
Okay,
I got his autograph.
no, he's the Forrest Gump of this community.
That
He
is correct.
influences people who become these great characters.
That's true.
These people. Booksmart, contrary to me hating women, Booksmart's my favorite film of the year. I didn't really go into this film hyped. I was like, this just looks like a generic, coming of age raunchy comedy film. But I absolutely just adore this movie. I really like the personality Olivia Wilde and the writers really were able to show these characters, Molly and Amy, as really relatable. And I wouldn't consider myself a feminist, but I really understood where they were coming from and understood their their motivations and their feelings for world and all that sort of stuff. And it's I hate people when they compare this film to Superbad. I understand kind of in the story, I guess, but the film is just so much better than Superbad in presentation, in directing, and there's so much more personality in Booksmart than there is in Superbad. From the music choices to the camera movement to the directing to the characters, every supporting character in Booksmart is easily identifiable and interesting and engaging. And I think that makes it so much more of an interesting watch than Superbad. And also, Booksmart is just is just fun. Like, I can watch this movie and just enjoy myself, and be entertained by the scenes and the situations that the characters get into. And it has an Alanis Morissette song in it, so that means it's a perfect film and should win awards just for that reason alone. Yeah,
I got a book earlier this year that has like a 5-page essay on why Booksmart is incredible, and it's fantastic.
that sounds amazing. And is it just Alanis Morissette songs in the movie?
It is not.
That should be.
But anyway, time for my number one.
I also had this on my list and didn't get to talk about it. But okay, Mel.
No, Boatman, you're tired. Go to sleep.
Okay.
Go home.
Boatman, what do you have to say about Booksmart?
I just want to say that I really like this movie, but it gives the false perception that obnoxious and loud guys who are nerdy and kind of lonely can find love, and I believe that isn't true. But seriously, no, this movie is very funny. And I take back what I said about being a super bad knockoff. I just meant that it's
Boatman,
very
your
similar
letterbox review is
structure-wise.
literally 3 words, and it is super bad but girl. So
touche.
But anyway, my number one movie of 2019 is Knives Out. This is a movie that I thought was a very fun movie to watch, and it's it's definitely got those classic murder mystery tropes sort of down, but they throw in a lot more twists that you never expect coming in this movie. Daniel Craig is great as the detective. I want to say it's Blanche, but
Detective
Blanche or Blanche or something like that. I can't remember how it's pronounced, but yeah.
yeah. But this was just a.
Sorry, are we talking about Benoit Blanc?
Benoit Blanc. Yeah, there you go.
And it like Blanc. What?
From the director of Blinded by the Light, which I'm surprised did not make Boatman's list.
I'm sorry, I'm lost. Knives Out's fucking great, guys, and it's the best screenplay of the year, not just of the years of the decade. And it's. Did you say bullshit? Go fuck yourself.
I just coughed. I didn't know what you're talking about.
He didn't say bullshit. He said Booksmart.
Okay. Well, Knives Out is the best original screenplay of the decade. It's Ryan Johnson's best movie. The ensemble cast is incredible. Yeah, it's great, and Jake is wrong.
I'm usually always wrong, so that's okay.
Boatman,
Birdman's not even the best movie of 2014.
I mean, you know what?
Knives Out is very
Guess how
good.
many belts you have? 0, and I have 3, so that means you're wrong. Your opinion is invalidated by that.
By
Wow,
what?
that hashtag things Case would say. Probably.
Do you have a girlfriend too there, Jake?
Well, I hate women, so obviously not.
Right. We need to
This is
get
a
Lucas
mess.
and Jim in here, and the sketch would
This is
just
a
be
mess.
chaos.
This is a
Let's
mess.
just turn this into the Lucas Schildbach chat live on stream.
Guys, if this episode ends up being longer than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm gonna cry.
Me too. Is it already almost 2 hours? What is going on?
We are 50
Can
seconds
I
away from
leave?
the 2 hours.
What is
Can I
going on?
leave?
I would like to say, remember that the last time we were, sorry. I have been on the second longest episode of Rankum before, and that was hard. So,
But anyway, there's no risk this is going to be longer because that was almost anyone else with any words or knives out.
I liked it. Chris Evans wears the sweater.
Everyone fucking loves that sweater. I don't know.
It's a good sweater.
There's a better sweater in The Rise of Skywalker. That was really loud.
Chris Evans wears the sailor's sweater, and it's very nice and it's very cool. And if you look up the background on how those sweaters work, it's very, very interesting. Also, Catherine Langford vapes, and if I wanted to see that, I'd watch 13 Reasons Why.
13 Reasons Why, yeah. Yeah. Or the deleted scene from Avengers Endgame where she vapes in front of Pennyside's face.
As we all know.
We all know the best scene in the movie. That's why it was cut. Knives Out. Knives Out is a good film. I'm not the biggest fan of The Last Jedi. I think it's good. I think it's fine. It's somewhere above average. But Knives Out is just like, yeah, he knows how to make a film, and it's great when he just makes like a film he wants to make. It feels like he had any interest in making Last Jedi other than he could just be given an opportunity to create an original film, kind of like the one for them, one for me approach. So I'm looking forward. I really like this movie. I really love Ana de Armas in the movie. The whole character is that if she lies, she throws up, which is really funny and comes into play in essential scenes in the movie. Chris Evans is good. Daniel Craig is great with his accent and all. Lakeith Stanfield and Jamie Lee Curtis and Don Johnson and Tony Collette. It's a star-studded cast. Christopher Plummer, Michael Shannon. Everyone's great in the movie.
And a vaping Catherine Langford. It's a technically well-made film. If you like whodunits, if you just like crime films and Agatha Christie-inspired murder mysteries, then this is the film for you. This is a great film, and I'm just going to keep talking about this film until someone says bingo. And yes, it's a great movie, and that's
But anyway,
it's like a donut without a hole.
Guys,
it could be the concept of what a hamburger is all about.
No one knows that concept.
I think one man knows it, but
he's not here at this moment.
he's not.
But anyway, what I did is I took everyone's lists and merged it all together in a combined list.
wow, like what Your List Sucks does.
That's very coincidental.
Wow, gee willet, bingo!
But
Rest in peace, Caleb Cohen.
Anyways, what's number 10?
But anyway, it turned out a lot interesting than what I thought. But at number 10 is Joker.
That's wrong.
At number 9 is Avengers Endgame. At 8 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. At 7 we've got Uncut Gems. At 6 we've got Rocketman. At 5 we've got Marriage Story. At 4 we've got Jojo Rabbit. At 3 we've got Knives Out. At 2 we've got Booksmart. And number 1 is Parasite.
We win. Me and Claire win, right? So what's our reward? What's our prize? We get a prize?
Was it worth it?
No, it
What did
wasn't.
it cost?
At what cost did we get Parasite at 1? The cost is being here.
I feel like I should confess to killing Jeffrey Epstein at this point because now I'll be resolved my crimes because I had to sit through this.
I mean, you put your name down when I put the post up of people who wanted to be on this. So.
I wanted to be on this one.
Yeah, but I didn't know what the format was.
I signed up for a different show. I don't know how I got here.
I mean, I did the same format I did last year for the best of 2018 list. So,
Koho, you didn't even sign up. You asked us 2 hours ago if we could add you to the group.
I got told 2 hours ago that Brian Michaels was dropping, and then about 20 minutes ago they added.
2 hours ago, of course, being when the show was happening.
Yeah, 2 hours ago being when the show was happening.
But anyway, Jake, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Pretentious Hack, the P and the H account. I'm also at Letterboxd at Maestro003. And you can also, for your consideration, I'm going for 11 nominations in the Multiplex Academy Awards. I'm hoping to get Warzone Player of the Year and maybe Moment of the Year. You know, getting double belted was very powerful, and I'd like to just keep talking about myself for another 5 more minutes. But also, yeah, I think all these other guys should also win some awards because they're pretty good. And that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Cameron, where can people find you online?
You can find me over at Full Metal Media, hosting Full Metal Classic, and now I have a microphone and a good quality webcam, so I won't look blurry all the time. You can also find me nominated for, I think, 7 of the Multiplex Awards. Please vote for me for Face of the Year over The Man Below Me. We're basically the same, except I don't joke about Natalie Wood.
Boatman, where can people find you online?
Don't. Oh my god. Well, you can find me at Multiplex Entertainment, where I produce Your List Sucks, which is basically what we did tonight, just with Cody and a host that's gonna roast you. And I'm nominated for stuff. I think Jake knows the numbers.
Yeah,
how
We're
many?
nominated for Clash
You've
of
been
Demon
nominated for
Head
like
as a team.
13. Like,
I'm nominated for 13 awards. Vote for
You're
me.
nominated for a
Like
lot.
2 of them.
I think you're third. I think it's Caleb, then it's Boatman, then Tim, and then I think it's you, or Jeremy and Robert and me and Dom. We're like all pretty high up.
All I know is I'm nominated for a couple awards. For your consideration, vote me for Manager of the Year, because we all know Cody's gonna win it.
Cody's gonna win.
Cody's gonna win it. Just give me your vote. Maybe I'll swing it my way. Vote for me for Heel of the Year. Yeah. And I also produce and run the shit Phantom Fights. We're coming back in February with a gauntlet, and I'm playing Fuck You, Lucas, so that'll be fun.
You can find me hosting Rankum every week, back to the normal format from next week. But yeah, you can also find me as Informative Random over on Full Metal. And you can find me all over the place. You can't find me nominated for awards because no one likes me and wants to nominate me, and I don't do anything worthwhile. But until next week.
Yeah, what is the time for next week? Let's tease the audience.
The poll's up there. I haven't. It's looking like it's going to be either TV crossovers or fictional witches and wizards. So
I will state right now, as proven on late TV fights, the objective, true, correct #1 for TV crossovers is Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana.
That is correct.
It's better than anything Doctor Who ever did.
Fuck you. That's wrong.
But anyway, until next time, keep listening.
The best crossover was when I finally met my